Symphonie Privett. Thank you for joining us on Featured. We hope to inspire or simply make you smile with some uplifting stories across the country. Now, the battle to quit addiction for good can be tough, but some people in Tennessee don't have to fight alone. Maria Guzman shows us how a nonprofit is knocking down barriers for people in recovery.
At an East Knoxville neighborhood, hope and second chances are being created.
I had so many people breathing hope into me.
Becky Paris is almost 7 years in her recovery journey. Her addiction began while she worked for the Knox County government.
When my husband died very suddenly in 2012, my addiction took hold very strong, very fast.
Alcohol and drugs later led to a criminal offense.
I got a DUI in 2013, probably about 10 months after he passed away.
These series of pictures tell a story of Becky's new start, from her mugshot to treatment and now in recovery.
I've been turned down for jobs because I have, criminal involvement. It doesn't matter how long ago it was, it still shows up on your record.
Metro Drug Coalition helps people struggling with substance use walk in recovery. Advocates say many of the people they serve have a history with the justice system.
I personally, when I was applying for college loans, it was a hindrance in that process, and those are things that people do not warn you about, right?
Jessica Stanley works with a nonprofit. She went from felonies to recovery and now applying for a pardon from the state.
In recovery, I'm trying to change my life, and everything I'm trying to do is, I was being turned down from housing, from employment.
She says helping people overcome barriers can prevent them from going in and out of jail.
I feel like we should be in support of having every barrier in the way of someone being able to lead a different type of lifestyle.
That was Maria Guzman reporting. The Metro Drug Coalition has served the Knoxville community for nearly 40 years. The organization strives to create a healthy and safe community free of substance misuse. Now, if you go over to the beach or a lake, you might see some trash floating around in the water. Well, one large body of water in Washington state has more than 100,000 tires submerged below. Farah Jadran explains why they were placed there on purpose and why there's an effort underway to remove them.
When Jessica Alexanderson started scuba diving, her heart was set on finding beautiful marine life in Puget Sound. What she discovered was shocking.
It's just absolutely terrible. When I first started diving in 2014, I was like, what? Every single dive site I've ever been to has tires.
She's right. There are thousands of sunken tires at just about every popular dive site. Some have been there since the 1960s, when the State Department of Natural Resources put them there. Along with other groups, thousands of tires were strung together in various shapes to mimic reef structures. But why?
They were targeting rockfish and they were targeting lingcod because there was kind of a dip in their population at the time that these tires were installed. So they were intended to boost these fish for recreational fishing purposes.
But researchers say there was no boost. DNR follow-up surveys to most areas showed the tire plan fell flat, and any potential harm to the health of the sound was already in motion.
I understand they're not decomposing.
Public Lands Commissioner Dave Upthegrove says concerns went beyond the tires themselves.
When the ropes that tied them together dissolve, and they can end up spreading out and actually damaging habitat and damaging wildlife instead of enhancing it over time.
Nearly 60 years later, new legislative funding is jump-starting work to finally get those tires out. In just one area, DNR removed about 2,500 tires by Tolmie State Park near the mouth of the Nisqually River. Commissioner Upthegrove says removing all the tires will likely cost more than $7 million. Putting tires in Puget Sound may simply not make sense to the average Washingtonian.
So it doesn't surprise me. At the time, it seemed like a good idea based on what they knew then, and now we're doing the best thing we can for salmon and orca and habitat based on what we know now.
They're chiselers with their teeth. And so if they're chiseling on the tire, that's going to be releasing small amounts of rubbers and all the chemicals that are in it. There's things breaking down over time, but then there's also animals that can break it down faster, and the urchins are actually one of those.
Marine biologist educators at places like Highline College's Math Center Aquarium on Redondo Beach in Des Moines are relieved to see the decades-old tire plan reversed.
Every step is a positive step. The health of the Puget Sound, the health of our environment affects us. One of the reasons climate change is worse is because the environment is less healthy.
Back to the surface with Jessica Alexanderson and her dive buddy Eric Axelrod. They've found life thriving where past failed experiments have been corrected.
Unfortunately, there was a bunch of tires actually near where the octopus den was built, and we actually helped remove some of those tires. And right after we removed the tires is when she moved in. But the den is made out of rock structure.
As hundreds of the giant Pacific octopus eggs continue to hatch, lovers of our Pacific Northwest waters are reminded.
Here it goes.
Okay.
Consequences of the past run deep.
That was Farah Jadran reporting. All right, staying in Washington State, we have some video you just have to see here. Come over to your TV screen. Giant waves knocked a pair of sailors out of their boat and into the water. Brady Wakayama speaks to the woman who survived and the person who caught it all on camera. Take a look.
It was a miracle. I am very lucky to sail with the team that I do because they saved my life.
Dramatic video from Saturday morning around 11:30 of Sheridan Ferguson and her crew member in the rough waters of Puget Sound. They went overboard when their sailboat encountered a giant wave.
Oh, somebody just lost them.
The video shows them holding onto a yellow floating device. Experts say at the time, the water was around 46 to 47 degrees.
It's incredibly cold. I could certainly feel myself slowing down.
And winds were gusting more than 40 miles per hour during the incident. Witnesses described the waves as 5 to 6 feet tall.
Those waves looked a lot taller from the water.
It was amazing to have been there and to have seen it.
Troy Hutt was the one who recorded this scene unfolding. He says there were several boats trying to help with the rescue efforts, including the Edmonds to Kingston ferry he was on.
Posted up almost as a wind block, stayed close, but not, giving them their space. And I'm sure if they needed to, they were going to deploy a life raft.
Ferguson says they were in the water for 40 to 45 minutes before crews were eventually able to wrangle them in.
Absolutely euphoric. But actually being on the deck of a boat with people around was incredible.
Ferguson says she's grateful for everyone who helped that day. A day she'll never take for granted.
I made it out. I'm okay. But this will take a long time to recover from. It's not a moment I'll forget ever. And I have a feeling the next time I'm on a race boat, it will be going through my mind quite thoroughly.
Oh my goodness. Talk about being in the right place at the right time. Whew, that was Brady Wakayama reporting. We are moving along to the basketball court now at Boise State University. Fans out there went the extra mile to honor a pair of players and their fathers. Brady Frederick has more in Idaho.
It's senior night. Drawing the biggest crowd the Bronco women's basketball team has seen in conference play since 2020. But at center court, one seat is unfilled. It has been all season. Section 6, row J, seat 24.
It's Jada, number 24.
Jada Clark's father, Jay, made that his permanent spot when his daughter enrolled at BSU.
He just had little superstitions like that, like such a dad thing to do. So he sat there every game and he would get here the second the doors would open and stuff, and yeah, that was his seat.
Jay died of kidney cancer last year. Since then, J24 has been reserved in his honor.
It's been super cool to be able to look up there and kind of have it saved for him still, and I know that he wouldn't miss it for the world if he could be here.
Jada has been able to lean on her teammates through a tough year. On the one-year anniversary of Jay's death, they took her to the top of Table Rock, where they all wrote messages to her father and sent them on balloons into the night sky.
I don't think I could have gotten through all of it without everyone here and all of the support and love that I've received.
Last summer, Teammate Danny Bays found out her father Leon had also been diagnosed with kidney cancer. On the other side of the world, in her home of Australia, he continues his fight while making sure to watch each of her games.
He always watches he's always locked into the games no matter what time. My mum always says that he has a big smile.
Sharing a similar experience, Jada and Danny formed a bond.
She's been really great and really supportive, and she's also gone through so much, so her being able to help me out is just means more than words to me.
She's amazing and she's so strong. It's kind of nice in a way to be able to repay to her the way that, like, everything that she did for me and all the ways that she was there for me.
But on this night, they got to experience how the fans in Boise were here for them. The program made the game an orange out, the color that represents the fight against kidney cancer. Upon entering the arena, fans took time to write Danny and Jada messages, sharing their love and support. And the whole team honored the fight shown by Jay and Leon as the Broncos won their final home game.
Yeah, it's just, I'm speechless about it. I'm so blessed to have come here and be here, so.
Oh, it means the world to me, especially being so far away from home. I couldn't do it without them or, the people around me, so I'm really grateful for it.
You really do see, like, how much people do love you and care for you. Tonight was, like, overwhelming, but, like, I just felt so grateful and blessed to have come to this school and be a part of this team and, like, just see the way that tonight turned out, so it was really awesome.
Brady Frederick.
What a great story. I love that one. We have much more where that came from. Here's a look at what's ahead on Featured, a drive-through experience that has customers saying, "I'm loving it," over in Minneapolis. Plus, eat every last crumb to protect the planet. There's a new way to prevent food waste that can also save you a few bucks. And a bit later on, smart shopping that makes your grocery store run faster and you are always first in line. Welcome back. Here's something that's pretty cool. Your next trip to the grocery store could be a bit more cutting edge. That is, if you seek out what is called a caper cart. Jim Altman takes us to a supermarket in Connecticut to show us how it works.
The steel frames and the squeaky wheels are what we've always known. But look in aisle 5. These shopping carts have a sixth sense.
AI has come to the aisles. This is the first store in Connecticut and Massachusetts that has caper carts.
Artificial intelligence to find your antioxidants and AI to buy your A1 at Geisler's in Granby. They're on a roll with what are known as caper carts.
It's got cameras that scan items as you put them in the basket. It's got a scale at the bottom so it knows when you've put produce and how much in. It's got a screen that shows you coupons so you'll never miss a deal again.
The grocery service Instacart brought the tech here.
Make sure the barcode hits, and you're good. Okay. Just that easy, right? That is.
Just a few weeks in, Geisler's CEO Bob Ryback is all about the AI.
It's a rolling register. It allows you to track your spend. It allows you to see how much you're saving. But we're finding people, old and young, that are enjoying the experience. They find it really easy to use, and they love the interactive nature of it.
No need to wait in line. Customers can cash out right from the caper cart. And early on, they're seeing these as market gains.
This is the real deal, right? So it knows when you put that item in the cart, it knows if you've got a box of Cheerios or a gallon of milk. It's scanning that, sensing it, and you can see your running total as you're shopping.
Who knows where it's going to go? I think it's absolutely the future.
Hey, that sounds pretty cool. It does the math for you, and I'm sure those folks appreciate how it knocks out some of the stressful parts of grocery shopping. That was Jim Altman reporting. All right, do you ever wonder what restaurants do with the leftover meals or food they don't serve by a certain date? Well, there is a new app that works to get that food into bellies rather than dumpsters. Jason Hackett shows us how one Minnesota business owner is making the best of the app. Take a look.
Over at Fletcher's Cafe in Minneapolis, owner Jason Fletcher is proof that it's never too late to make a change.
I was working at a job that I saw that people weren't very happy at, and I didn't want to be that way. I wanted to do something that I loved, and I love people, and I love food.
The rest is history. His business has been going strong for almost 9 years. For Jason, his change started with one small step. It's the same way he approaches food waste at his shop.
From the get-go, it's always been really important for us not to have food waste. We're really conscious about ordering the right amount of food.
It's why he's one of several local business owners who's teaming up with Too Good To Go.
Too Good To Go allows us to have another way of reducing that waste.
Sarah Soderoff is a spokesperson for the company.
Too Good To Go is the world's largest marketplace for selling surplus food. We connect businesses who sell food directly to consumers to purchase that at a pretty steep discount.
From bakeries to grocery stores to sushi.
A surplus of food that is still edible, still perfectly safe to consume, probably was made in-house that day and just didn't sell.
The app started in 2016 with the mission of reducing food waste. A participating restaurant can list any food that didn't sell over the course of the day for around 1/3 of the cost. The benefit goes both ways. Excess food stays out of the landfill, while the businesses
recoup what would otherwise be lost revenue by not having to throw away that food.
Jason credits the app for helping to reduce their food waste.
Our food waste it's next to nothing.
He's proud to be a part of the change the company is trying to create.
This is our earth, this is our place.
And is well aware of the responsibility he shares as a business owner.
It's just important for everybody to be conscious about what we're throwing in our garbage.
That was Jason Hackett reporting. Time now for a brief break, but don't go too far. Up next, we are talking about the lifestyles of the rich and famous. I'll explain why you might see singer T-Pain on your next fight. Plus, a bit later, a 3-year-old boy who braved the dark for a good reason. He'll explain how he helped his great-grandma. Alrighty, let's check out what's buzzing online. Say what you want about T-Pain using auto-tune, but you cannot deny the man has hits that stick like grits. You remember that song, I'ma buy you a drink? That was my jam back in college. I don't know. I might be aging myself. Well, despite a successful career that spans 20 years, many folks are saying he's broke after a recent post he shared. Let's check it out. So the claims stem from fans seeing T-Pain flying commercial instead of on a private jet. Now, he took to Instagram with this message to all the people worried about what's in his bank account. Listen.
To take a private jet from Atlanta to Vegas and then back to Atlanta is $126,000. How would you do that? In what world is that smart? Then y'all to be like, are you going broke again?
I mean, I see what he's saying. T-Pain went on to say he isn't spending all of that money to go make more money. And his peers agree. Music producer Timbaland chimed in on the post, writing, "Don't do it." Well, rapper Big Sean added, "Facts. Hey, makes sense to me. Live within your means and stop pocket watching. Don't worry about what everybody else has." Alrighty, now, growing up, you may have watched Wheel of Fortune when you got home from school, but they constantly have new episodes on. But have you ever wondered how they do it all? Well, during a visit to a radio show, the Vanna White spilled the deets on what her typical schedule looks like. And I have to say, it sounds like a pretty solid gig to me.
We film about 34 days a year. That's it.
Stop it.
Yes, but.
But how many in a day? Yeah.
6 shows a day.
All right, so if you do the math, Vanna White has 331 days off every year. Oh my gosh, she reportedly makes about $3 million. Vanna girl, when you're ready to retire, sign me up. I'll take it. Alrighty, now check this out. Oh, this video has been going viral. A romantic date turned into a touching proposal. Here's what's going on. Michael Mays, he is paralyzed and he can't get down on one knee, but he still wanted to show his love for his girlfriend, Trinity, with a grand gesture. So he slid out of his wheelchair and sat on the floor to pop the question. Look at Trinity. She said yes, and it was all caught on camera by a customer sitting behind them. Now, the video was shared on TikTok, which got more than 24,000 comments. And one user wrote, "I'd be recording and all you'd hear is me sobbing." I get it. That is such an incredible moment. I'm glad someone captured it for them. All right, that wraps up our trending block, but we have much more for you ahead on Featured. She is 106. Look at this lady here. And still going strong. A North Texas woman is painting her way through life, one brush stroke at a time. Stick around to find out her secret to a long life. Plus, when picking up the trash pays off, we will take you to a national garbage truck competition that is rewarding top workers for their skills. Sticking with us here on Featured. I'm Symphonie Privett, and we are continuing to bring you some uplifting stories from across the country. We are kicking off this half hour saying thank you to one of our nation's heroes. The son of a World War II soldier brought history to life in a New York classroom. His father was an original member of the 10th Mountain Division, and his journey as a soldier is now being weaved into a lesson plan taught by his own son. Pete Gallivan has more.
My dad was in 10th Mountain Division, and he was from Lockport.
We went on snowshoes, and we were going to do an ambush patrol because the Germans had been ambushing some of our patrols, and so we were going to try and get some of them.
And John Newton's father, Carl, was a man with many stories, as this 2004 interview with the New York State Military Museum clearly shows. Like the time he had a Nazi surrender to him at Riva Ridge in the mountains north of Italy.
I thought it was one of our guys. Well, he got maybe 100 feet from me, and he dropped his pistol belt and threw his rifle down and put his hands up and come up, and I realized it was a German. And he said to me, "Got an American cigarette?"
And on this day at Lockport's Keenan Center,
at the end of the flat part of Lockport, and there's the escarpment, and that's where he learned to ski.
John was sharing his father's story with his students from the Mandala School in East Aurora.
We've been studying World War I, World War II, so this is a good example to pull some things together, give them a better sense of what it was like then.
Bringing history to life through the artifacts that are currently on display and part of the Secret Weapons of World War II exhibit.
Out there, they trained all the time in mountain warfare. Every Monday, they'd pack up, get on their skis or the snowshoes, and go up into the mountains, and they'd live out there for 5 days.
But what really drove the lesson home were the very words of Carl in letters home that John read to his class.
You haven't anything on us for snow. We're in pretty mountain country, and there's lots of snow. He was special being a dad, but I never thought he was different than other people, because all my neighbors, all the fathers, one neighbor was a pilot in the Air Force, another was in the Navy. Everybody was in the armed services.
John's dad was just part of that greatest generation who went away to do a job and then came home and lived their lives.
Well, one thing my dad has said, he said, once you're in a war, the rest is easy,
And that was Pete Gallivan reporting. And now to a veteran turned author in Pennsylvania. Gabriel Mediak shares how he is writing about his dark past to bring light to others.
Decades ago, while serving his country, Kevin McComber experienced events that would forever alter the course of his life.
I had years of trauma. I had a difficult childhood, and then, of course, where I thought that the Navy would be an avenue to a much easier life or a different life, it in fact just created more layers to it. Particularly when I served in the Middle East, it was pretty terrible.
Like many veterans, he returned home carrying invisible wounds.
The inability to sleep, the negative behaviors, the negative thoughts, inability to function.
But he's no longer dwelling in the dark shadows of his past.
If you're traumatized and you're spending hours each day obsessing on how you feel or you don't feel, or maybe you're numb or the negative thoughts, you've got to put positive stuff into your head.
He's chosen to illuminate a path forward, focusing on strategies and insight that helped him reclaim his life.
Most people with PTSD really have to deal with isolating, meaning they don't want to be with people, they don't trust people. And I have found that low-risk environments, particularly the arts, is a very positive thing.
He's put years of work into helping others do the same, from volunteering to writing a book on his own experience. He says Walking from the Shadows, My Journey with Post-Traumatic Stress Disorder, is a book for anyone suffering from PTSD.
I think a lot of people just want to be validated. They just want people to say, yes, I understand what that's like. I understand it's very difficult. But you're also given this power because of your experiences. If you're on that one side of the line, you can give them hope. You can say, this will get better. You will get better. You're going to have to work hard. You're going to have to stay focused. But it will get better.
That was Gabrielle Mediak reporting. Let's head to an art class now where everyone is welcomed. Sean Martinelli takes us to Virginia to introduce us to an educator who is making a positive impact on his students. Take a look.
Hey there, my man.
At South Lakes High School in Reston, Virginia. Despite the song from that speaker, satisfaction is everywhere here. It's in proud artists and in their even prouder teacher.
It's the only thing I know how to do.
That's Matt Ravenstall. In most classrooms, students who are neurodivergent learn separately from the neurotypical. Here, they work side by side.
If there's a philosophy to this room, that is it. Everyone is welcome.
A philosophy that began from Matt's dissatisfaction.
Non-speaking students have a lot to say. So you're going to put stuff around in here.
Matt saw a need to teach those students art more meaningfully. Fellow teacher Claudia Harvey agreed.
Knowing that they're capable of doing so much more.
We just have to give them the opportunity to do it.
We'll start with the color on one part of the flag.
That opportunity came when they created this class called Inclusive Fine Arts.
This class is awesome.
And while we wish we could show you some more finished work,
I can't keep their artwork here. Like they're so happy with it, they take it home like after every class.
For students like Zainab Adris,
they're amazing.
This isn't just an extracurricular. It's a reason each day to show up.
Yeah.
And that's enough reason for Matt to keep going.
It gives, I think, purpose to my life. Years ago, did my doctoral degree with a plan of after I teach high school, going into university and all of that sort of stuff.
Because of this class, Matt's plans changed.
When I retire, I'm not going into a university. I'm going to work with adults with disabilities and give art lessons. At the age of 54, I learned what some of the things I'm supposed to do.
And that's left him with the feeling.
That's what we like to hear.
Of satisfaction.
That was Sean Martinelli reporting. Over to Texas now, where more than a dozen teachers have a little extra money in their pockets. Hey, maybe we can say a little more than extra. It is all thanks to the state's education department. 15 teachers at the Jarrell Independent School received a total of $170,000. I'm sure it was well appreciated. The money is given by the state annually on top of the teacher's base salary. Now, the school district hopes the reward will help ease some of the pain of inflation and act as an incentive to continue their important work in education.
Our teachers work tirelessly. They are constantly pouring to our students, not just in the classroom, but they're also giving up their personal time to make sure our kids are successful.
Teachers say the extra funds allow them to focus less on financial stress and more on student success.
These added monies, like it can take your mind off of finances and be able to just invest those energies more so in the lives of these kids.
Some teachers received checks as high as $23,000. Hey, I would love a bonus for that much. But even though the extra funds are welcomed, these educators say they don't do it for the money. Of course not. They love what they do. They do it to make a difference in their students' lives. And teachers just play such a huge role in those kids' lives. Love that. Now, this next story is an incredible one for a little toddler who was tested by his fear of the dark. He was brave enough to help his great-grandmother after she had a pretty serious fall. Janelle Finch takes us over to Colorado to introduce us to the little hero. Take a look.
3-year-olds
here, buddy.
Don't always follow directions.
But do what I tell you. Come here.
3-year-olds will sometimes do what they shouldn't.
Bridger, don't put him in the grass.
But when 3-year-old Bridger Peabody needed to listen most, he did.
If Bridger wasn't there, I don't know what I would have done.
Sharon Lewis is Bridger's great-grandma.
Gigi!
His Gigi.
Grandma! Bridger, come over here, honey.
One night in February, Bridger's sister needed to get treatment at Children's Hospital. So while his family stayed with his sister, Gigi offered to take Bridger home.
And we went up to the backyard, dark backyard, and then we got up to the door where I was going to get the keys out. She had her walker, and she fell. And when I fell, I hit the corner of the cement step. She bumped her head, and then it popped open.
Sharon says she couldn't get up or call for help. Her phone was still in the car.
And I said, you know what? You're going to have to go out to the car and get my phone. I was scared outside in the really dark.
But Bridger did brave the really dark.
And he yells, I got it, Gigi. Yes, I did it.
Sharon was able to call other family to get her an ambulance.
But she's all better.
Bridger wouldn't call himself a big kid.
I know, but when I grew up like a big kid, I can help Gigi. You see him?
When it comes to 3-year-olds,
you're Gigi's hero.
Bridger is in a league of his own.
He's just a blessing.
That was Janelle Finch reporting. Sharon says doctors told her she had a serious concussion and would need 22 staples in her head. Oh, man. Well, at last check, she says all of the staples are out and she is doing much better. We are so happy to report that. Now, as people get older, they often share stories about what keeps them going. Sean Giggy introduces us to a North Texas woman who says her secret to a long and happy life is to paint the town with laughter.
It looks like nothing.
The subject of our story knows a lot about painting.
Yeah, I do.
But very little about the secrets to longevity.
I don't know either.
Which is shocking.
Yeah.
Because Lita Touchstone is 106.
Yeah, it's all right.
Born in 1918 in Noodle, Texas, Lita grew up barrel racing, got married and raised 2 kids, and then fell in love with painting.
Where next can I go?
After moving to Dallas in the 80s, she set art aside.
Yeah.
But a few years ago, picked it up again and hasn't stopped. Her daughter, Christy Harris Spear, says Lita's love for painting keeps going and going and going.
I would say altogether she probably has 900.
She's never sold a single piece. She just does it because she can.
Mrs. Lita Touchstone is, one of those special ones too.
Lita's cardiologist at Texas Health Dallas, Dr. Talika Jan.
You'd probably be surprised to know that she's 106 years old looking at her.
Aside from medication for an irregular heartbeat, Lita has never had any major health issue.
Yeah.
Which she attributes to juicing, sleeping, praying, and painting.
Yeah.
Whether by brush or blush.
Little powder and paint will make a gal what she ate.
Lita creates joy.
That's true.
She even tried to paint a smile on my face.
Are you taking my picture? Tell me when you take it. Ah, I love to get to laugh.
Why?
Well, I don't want that. And I love to laugh, don't you?
Yeah. Perhaps that's the secret to a long and healthy life.
Yeah, I bet that's it. That's it.
Because life should be
I got a little more pink.
Colorful.
That's pretty.
In Dallas, I'm Sean Giggy.
I love it. I love to see that she is, just full of energy and as spunky as ever. Great story. Here's a look at what's ahead.
We love you.
Oh, okay. I'll take a number 2 with a serenade, please. We'll check out a food order that comes with a side of smiles. Welcome back. We could all use a dose of sunshine right now. There is a young man serving up smiles at a drive-thru in Minnesota. Boyd Hubert shows us how he is taking customer service to a whole new level.
When people talk about a restaurant's performance, they are generally not referring to this. But lunchtime is showtime. When Daniel Marshall
Now let's make this world happen. Let's go.
On stage.
We love you.
This guy is great.
Thank you so much for choosing Arden Hills McDonald's. My name is Daniel. How are you today?
Really puts a smile on my face.
Hello, how are you?
Who else sings to you anymore in this day and age?
Daniel will sing your order.
We got that 20 piece.
Then bestow on you a name.
What's up, boss? How you doing? What's up, Rockstar? How are you? What's up, Captain? All day long. I hear him at home. We love you.
At the Arden Hills McDonald's.
Come on, car.
Always another friend.
Let's make it happen.
Coming around the bend.
Is it a convertible? Yeah.
It's always the ba-da-ba-ba-ba. I'm loving it.
But not the way it's always been.
Come on down.
For Daniel.
How you doing, my good sir? I was different from a lot of people.
The teasing started in elementary school when Daniel was diagnosed with autism.
I was called names like I was dumb, I was stupid, I was retarded.
Daniel's mom told us after graduation, her son was taunted again by a manager at a different burger place.
Every day, they would say to him, "You just need to quit. Isn't there somewhere else you would like to work?"
Cheryl Marshall worried for her son.
It was very hard.
But something clicked.
Man, I'm feeling great.
When Daniel teamed with Ashley Sikora, his McDonald's manager.
I understand how he ticks.
Something close to Ashley's heart.
My youngest son is actually autistic as well.
In Liam, Ashley sees Daniel.
Take care of yourself, my dude.
Liam's hyper-focus on things like space and the planets.
Customer service is that for Daniel.
Y'all looking swaggerific right now.
Everything he has, he puts into that.
And his manager isn't the only one who's noticed.
Wow.
Daniel is outstanding.
My kids love his singing.
Ray of sunshine.
In the years since Daniel came aboard,
You found a gem.
hundreds of messages.
An amazing person.
Best drive-through ever.
Enough to get the attention of Tim Baylor.
He literally makes people's day.
The owner of the McDonald's.
Daniel is what you want.
That surprised Daniel.
But
with this.
Yes! No one quite like Daniel.
Booyah, baby!
Anywhere.
It's home. It's a brand new opportunity for me to be somebody in the world. Hi.
In a good mood. Awesome.
And as Daniel thrives, one mother savors the ride.
Very proud, Mom. Yes. It truly made us proud.
As another watches
I do.
and thinks about her son.
Enjoy your day.
When you see somebody like Daniel, it's just kind of reassuring that it's going to be okay and he'll figure out his own way.
We love you.
Daniel Marshall making every day the performance of his life.
Have a wonderful day. God bless you and keep on smiling, all right?
I love that. That is my kind of service. As someone who regularly sings during the commercial breaks, I especially love this story. Keep on singing, Daniel. That was Boyd Hubert reporting. All right, now to a garbage truck worker who's not letting his skills go to waste. Aha, you see what we did there? Amy Hunter explains how picking up trash has earned him a national title.
For those who think there's no glory in trash, a Commerce City receptacle driver is ready to prove them wrong.
Number 17, Ron Torres.
Representing the Mile High, baby.
Ron competed in the 2025 Rodeo National Championship in Arizona.
There he goes.
It's a biannual event held by waste collection company Republic Services to showcase the skills of its truck drivers.
The first thing in the competition is the serpentine, where we have to snake through toters, forward and backward without hitting any of them. Yes, it's difficult, but those are maneuvers I do every day, so that's kind of like helps me out.
From parallel parking,
nice job,
to navigating the tight space of an alley.
If you hit anything, you lose points.
Ron showed his skills could not be beat. Ron can officially say he is one of the best garbage truck drivers in the country, at least among Republic Services drivers.
I give all the credit to my wife because she pushed me into this, told me to give it a shot, and I did. And look at me now.
It's a title Ron is proud to hold.
Oh, the champ!
And one he says any of his fellow garbage truck drivers should compete for.
Just give it a shot. You never know. You might win. You might beat me.
I love that. That was Amy Hunter reporting. Now, because Ron won the national title, he gets a $5,000 bonus and an extra week of vacation. Hey, sounds good to me. And he said it best. You miss all the shots you don't take. All right, don't go anywhere. We have more for you straight ahead on Featured. Welcome back. Now, you've probably heard of cat cafes where, customers sip coffee while enjoying some feline company. But what about that same concept with a different furry friend? Jeff Zevely takes us to the pug cafe called Cup of Pug in California. Take a look.
If you think the bright pink Cup of Pug building is unforgettable, just wait until you see what happens when they release the hounds.
A lot of our dogs like to wiggle around.
Unsuspecting customers have no idea what's about to be unleashed. It's a pug party that runs wild for 50 minutes. So you might as well submit to the slobber. Wow! Surprise attack! Pugs love to play and pounce.
All of them coming out is just so exciting. I feel so good, happy now.
Hold the boat. Andrea Lewis signed up to pass out puppuccinos. What is happening over here?
I'm being attacked and I love it. they're so cute. Oh, you want one? She's learned the secret.
Cheryl Lambert is the manager of Cup of Pug and still can't believe they pay her for this.
You don't get up in the morning and go, oh, I gotta go to work. You're like, I get to go to work and have a blast.
Cheryl told me pugs were bred to provide companionship for Chinese emperors.
In my mind, they're not dogs because each one is goofy, they're funny, they do different things every day that just make you laugh.
And just when you think the excitement is dying down, it's time for the Pug Ball Pit. The concept of Pugpalooza started in England, where Matthew Petersey and Aaron Carty own 2 pug cafes.
I'm obsessed with pugs. I have 10 my own, and they're all in London.
Last fall, the couple opened this spot in California, and another one is on the way in Texas. In your dreams, how many Cup of Pugs do you open?
Oh, I don't know. As many as we can,
That was Jeff Zevely reporting, and that is it for Featured. I hope you enjoyed today's show. Make it a great one.